What's going on, everybody? It is Joshua Carter here on social media, JAC the Trucker. And I want to just do my video about my experience with going to I guess like a sponsored driving school, or would be considered like not a, like a traditional, like a community college or something like that. I went through 160 Driving Academy here in Cincinnati, Ohio. My experience was great. Um, and I've seen a lot of people do like CDL Class A review videos, and I wanted to do mine from the perspective of someone who has never been around trucking, never even driven anything other outside of a car, never driven a pickup truck, none of that. And my experience going in, they welcomed me in well. I actually had a situation where I was supposed to start in June, but some things came up and I couldn't start until September. And they were able to work with me on that. They didn't give me a hard time coming back. The branch manager who's in the office was very professional. Um, I will say the experience with the classroom, because I don't know if this is 160 like their policy, or if the schools are like close in distance together, but there's like a satellite or a main office and our main classroom, and I'm assuming like a satellite classroom. My classroom, we were in, like, I guess, the satellite. And I say that because the whole classroom portion of it is taught over a video. So there's like a TV on the wall, you have a laptop computer in front of you, and there's an instructor teaching the class over the video. And she's actually teaching to a live classroom, like in front of herself. So that part was kind of shaky. There was myself and one other student in the classroom, and then like there where they were teaching their class at, they had like 12 students. So there was just a lot of times where it would get off track. She couldn't like teach, but it wasn't her fault. But I will say, if you are planning on going to 160, I would come into the program with my permit. So I would actually go enroll for them and have your CDL permit already, because the way the classroom portion of it is taught, you have to kind of do a lot at home, a lot of studying at home, which you're going to have to study your CDL book from wherever you're from anyway at home. But the classroom portion of it is taught in a way, like I said, it's on that video, unless you're actually fortunate and you get in a situation where you're actually in the live classroom with the instructor in your face. The flow of it kind of lags a little bit, where by the end of the week they send everyone on Thursday who doesn't have a permit to go take their permit on Thursday, like their general knowledge, the air brakes, and the combination. They have them go take that on Thursday, and our instructor on the video was only like halfway through air brakes at the time, and they should have been going in prepared to take their air brakes. And that's what I'm saying. Like, she was teaching her all the information, but if somebody has questions and she had to re-explain things, it just kind of slowed the process up. So amongst everything else, she was trying to teach to prepare us to go into the yard. So if I was you and you want to go to 160, I would recommend checking them out. But also, I would come into the program having your permit already, unless you're in a situation where you can't afford it. Here in Ohio, it's $27 for the CDL permit. That's air brakes, combination vehicle, and general knowledge. But if 160 will pay for you to get your permit if you can't afford it. So depending on your situation, go as follows. When we get onto the yard part of it starts the next week. After the classroom week, then there's the yard week. Now, my situation here in Cincinnati, it was a small group. There's 3 instructors, and then we had maybe at 1 week, because it's constantly flowing out. They're constantly putting students out there. 1 week there, while I was there, my first week there was like 15 students, but a lot of those students were on their final week, so they were testing. And then like my next week, it was 5 of us, and then the week after that, there was like 4 of us. And people started to take their tests and pass, and new students were coming in, so on and so forth. I had a lot of time in the seat. I had a lot of time with the instructors. I was very fortunate, very blessed. I did hear people say that when they came, there was like 30 students per 3 instructors, and we only had 2 trucks on the yard at the time. So a lot of people weren't getting a lot of repetitions. Depending on the situation, depending on the time you're going to go, you might run into that problem. The instructors are very detailed, very knowledgeable. I didn't have any issues with my instructors. They are former truck drivers, so they're rough around the edges. If you're not someone who likes cussing, if you're not someone who likes hearing funny jokes, if you're someone who's very sensitive to certain things, it's not going to be conducive. I mean, these are hard truckers. Great instructors. They have a lot of patience. I mean, but if you are bothered by cigarette smoke, if you don't like spitting, if you can't handle the cussing, like I said, it's not going to be the place for you. But I feel like we all as truckers, like aspiring truckers, are going to expect that there's going to be some cussing. I mean, it's just part of it. I was in there with great students. Everybody seemed to get along well. So, in short, if I was someone seeking a sponsored program, they do offer where you pay every week. I'll be honest, I took my CDL test twice and I passed on the third time. So that's maneuvers and road and pre-trip. I passed pre-trip the first time. The second time I failed the sight side parallel, and the third time I passed. Got no points on maneuvers, and I had like 18 points on the road. And that was because just grinding the gears and things like that. But great situation at 160. Definitely, my opinion is somewhere to check out. Is somewhere to go if you're looking to go that route to get your Class A CDLs. I know different cities are going to have different situations, but just for speaking on my experience at the Cincinnati location, it was great. I mean, I got my CDL. Now my future just opened up. So 160 is definitely something I would consider if I were you. If you have any questions, comments, any experiences with your situation at 160 or any other driving school, just leave the comments in the below. Again, Joshua Carter here, JAC the Trucker on Instagram and Twitter. Good luck. Have a great day.